What's up, everybody? I'm just going to be talking about Mercury retrograde for a little second here. Mercury usually goes very fast, has a orbit around the sun of about 88 days, and goes retrograde about 3 times a year. Now, retrograde from our vantage point on Earth means the planets kind of they look like they're backing up and going in the opposite direction. Now, we know that this is not actually the case, that they actually just appear to be going that way based on where we're catching them from our orbit here on Earth. So this is one of those times where Mercury appears to be going backwards. This starts on September 17th is when he stations retrograde, is what they call it. So he's been slowing down for the last couple days. For the last couple days, he's been hovering around 14, and then just last night, today, into 15 degrees of Libra. So he's been slowing down, and that means everything associated with Mercury slows down. And for me, it's been raining all day here, and I've just been posted up in my little sweatshirt, just taking it easy because everything is stopping. My mind is not working. I'm dropping my camera. Okay, come on. What is this? So Mercury has to do with our intelligence, our expression, our kind of intellect, the way we communicate, the way we think. The glyph for Mercury is a cross with a circle and then a crescent, like horns or whatever, on top. So what that means is that Mercury connects the body to the soul, to the spirit. That's the crescent on top, is the spirit. And so Mercury is the messenger between worlds. Mercury gives our prayers to the gods. Mercury gives messages from the gods to us. So he's that fleet-footed messenger. He's kind of zipping between the halves of our brain, right? Between our thinking side and our feeling side, or whichever way that works out. So Mercury's the messenger. He kind of keeps everything connected. And so when we're moving forward, it's kind of solar thinking, like our normal rational thinking about things logically. We're looking out into the waking world. This is the way it's happening. But when he goes retrograde, when he starts to move back, that energy tends to go inward. That energy tends to go into the more feeling place. So it's not so much, it's called lunar thinking, right? We're thinking not so much in the solar world and the waking world out here with everybody else. Everything tends to go inward. Reason for that is that we actually are closer to the planets when they go retrograde. We're zipping around their orbit or whatever, however that lines up. We're actually closer to them, so that the reason that that they're like, okay, don't sign a contract, don't do a deal, don't do things during Mercury retrograde, is because that you're experiencing that energy in a lot more powerful way. So we've got Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Libra. Libra is about partnerships. It's about balance. It's the scales, right? So we got harmony and balance. Aesthetics are a part of Libra life. And it'll be backing up from about 15 degrees to 0 degrees. And then of course, we'll go back over that. So what does that mean? That means wherever this lands in your chart, that your partnerships, your relationships are you're going to be balancing out the scales within yourself. So normally Libra, we're out here balancing the scales out in the world, balancing the scales between individuals. Well, this energy goes inward. So your relationships are going to be drawing out. Am I in balance in this area? Are there things that are off kilter that I need to kind of weigh out more? Have things been kind of on balance for too long? I need to kind of disrupt it. Throw everything off balance a little bit, because sometimes that's what we need to, is to get off kilter and kind of figure out where we're at. So what I kind of see happening is this will be a very indecisive Mercury retrograde. We're going to be wondering, is this the right choice? Am I doing the right thing? We're going to be weighing out the pros and cons, because this journey that is going to be internal. Even though relationships are going to be showing us kind of what's going on during this Mercury retrograde, it's all internal. It's the scales within. So wherever this falls in your chart, it'll be your relationships that are showing you where the scales are balanced or where they are not. So, where does this fall for you? If you are a Libra, this falls in your first house. This has to do with your identity, your personality, kind of the energy that you give people when you're around them and with them. Kind of the way you identify with yourself. Your relationships are going to be giving you a lot of information about the way that you identify with yourself during this time. If you are a Virgo, this is going to be lighting up your second house of worth and values, money, what you attract into your world, like kind of your possessions, kind of the things that back up what your identity is. So your relationships are going to be showing you a lot about your self-worth, a lot about how you're thinking about your money, how you're thinking about these second house values. If you're a Leo like I am, you're going to be having a lot to experience with localized experience, stuff in your neighborhood, stuff you already know, skills you've already learned. You're going to be talking a lot. You're going to be having a lot of talk going on. I already know for me that during this Mercury retrograde, I'm going to be visiting cities that I've worked in before. I'm going to be doing jobs with people that I've worked with before. It's all this stuff about going back in this third house kind of way. Like it's already showing up in my life that way. So if you are a Cancer, this will be lighting up your fourth house. If you might be doing some more housework, you might be changing the decoration of your house. It'll be a lot about your home base. Kind of, and for Cancers, that's important because they got that crab shell on their back, right? You're going to be reevaluating and rethinking about your home space and your home life. This is also kind of like fourth house stuff has to do a lot with like the deep part of your soul. So you're going to be thinking a lot about things that are deep and emotional and within you, kind of stuff that you keep protected maybe from the world. If you are a Gemini, this will be lighting up your fifth house of fun and pleasure and creativity and relationships with children. You could be maybe playing with kids a lot more. You could be maybe thinking about having kids, stuff like that. Also, you're going to be thinking about what is actually fun for you. Like, what do you want to spend your time doing? What are your hobbies? What are your interests? You might be thinking about that in a new way. And again, no matter what sign you are, no matter what house this is accenting for you, it's your relationships that are going to be showing you what the balance is within yourself. You're going to be seeing this through your relationships. So if you are a Taurus, this is going to be hitting your sixth house of work and routines and health. So this might be a little tedious for you because you might be going over things that you've worked on again and again and again. Mercury retrograde is a reevaluation. So you might be seeing through your relationships a reevaluation of your work life, of the way that you're spending your time working. And also you might be thinking about your health in a new way. People might be showing you different ways maybe that your relationships might show you different ways in which your routine is causing you to be healthy or maybe causing you to not be so healthy. If you are an Aries, this is actually going to be lighting up your seventh house of relationships. So you're going to be going through all of this stuff in relationships. I kind of see this being maybe a little dramatic for you. You're going to be dealing a lot with people and a lot with your important people in your life. Your relationships are going to be showing you the balance of the scales within yourself. So, get ready for that. If you are a Pisces, this is going to be lighting up your eighth house. This is the mysteries of life. This is the regenerative cycles. This is the opposite of second house Taurus stuff. So this is letting go. This is stuff that you share with other people. This is regenerative cycles like sleep and sex and death and all that kind of scary Scorpio stuff. So for Pisces, you're going to be thinking a lot about the mysteries of life, and the relationships in your life are going to be showing you a lot about that. If you are an Aquarius, this is lighting up your ninth house. Your ninth house has to do a lot with higher ideals, higher kind of communication, beliefs, philosophies, kind of travel in foreign countries. You might be traveling to faraway places that you have been to before. This will also be great for an Aquarius because y'all love to talk about ideas and y'all love to talk about the world and how it works and what it is and what it does. And so this will be a highly reevaluating time for you to kind of be thinking about those ideas highlighted through your relationships. if you are Sagittarius, this is going to light up your 10th house of your kind of public life, the way that you present yourself in public, the way that you present on the stage of the world out there. So this might have to do with work. You might be rethinking your work life. You might be rethinking just kind of your public image, maybe some rebranding going on. But it has to do with kind of being out there in the wider world, but your relationships are going to show you this like new pathway, this new evaluation that you have to your kind of public image. If you are oh, damn it. Oh, I skipped one. It was Capricorn. Capricorn, that's your 10th house. I'm not redoing this video, so just Capricorn is your 10th house. Everything I just said was Capricorn. All right. Oh, how embarrassing. All right, Sagittarius. This is really you now. If you listened to that before, don't listen to that. This is now you, Sagittarius. This is lighting up your 11th house. This is your hopes and dreams, your friends, your networks. You might be having a lot of kind of reshifting going on when it comes to your bigger group of friends, to the way that you kind of relate to larger groups of people. Also, you might be reevaluating what it is you really want out of life, what it is that you are working hard for and working towards. You might be thinking about new ways about that. And that'll be new relationships, or not, maybe not new relationships, but your relationships are going to be showing you that balance within yourself. And if you are a Scorpio, just like with Taurus over there, if you're a Scorpio, I can see this kind of being hard on you, because this is happening in your 12th house of secrets and sorrows, and it's the house of self-undoing, where you're going to sabotage yourself. So you might be thinking about things in a new way, and you might be having people pop back into your world that are just kind of coming out of nowhere and kind of messing with you. So if you're Scorpio, like, take this time easy. It's going to be rough, I feel. And in general, I feel like it's going to be dramatic kind of for everybody. It's going to be our relationships that are kind of causing us to reevaluate what's going on. So just make sure that you know that everybody else is dealing with crazy stuff too, and not to take it too personal when they come at you with a big pile of crazy, because it's likely to happen. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that. Hopefully that made any lick of sense, because Mercury is pretty much stopped there at 15 degrees. My brain has stopped. It's taken me almost 13 minutes to get through this information. So I hope it was something for you. Go ahead and like my page. Check out my website, willpowerastrology.com. I'm on YouTube's. You can subscribe there, and then also on Facebook. And then, you get a reading too. It's a good time to reevaluate. It's a good time to look at how we're thinking about things. So go ahead and grab yourself a reading, and we'll talk to you soon. Sweet. Bye.